For as long as I can remember, people have lied about me. They told me that I wasn't good enough. They told me that I was a burden. My mom told me once that there were 7 levels of angels and she was near the top and I was closer to the bottom. I've been called a slut by people who were supposed to be my friends, by the parents of the boy that tried to rape me. I've been called a drug addict, a child abuser, even the labels of depressed and broken. My dad really had an impact on our marriage by telling my husband that I was like my mom. Lots of beliefs about me being like my mom and being part of that heaviness, darkness, drama. And when you hear stories like that over and over and over again from the people who want to make things easier for themselves, they want the blame to be put somewhere else. They want to copy and paste easy answers or no answers at all so that they don't have to do anything to fix it. It's taken a long time, and honestly, I'm still working on straightening out the truth about myself. It's caused this war in my head and in my heart that has constantly throughout my life just worn me out. But I know now in my older years, my maturity years, who I am, who I've always been. I am grateful to God for sending me my children, for example, who are very special gifts to me that I've realized over the years they are mirrors of parts of me, of my personality, to kind of show me the truth about who I am. So I have this wonderful son who's serving a mission right now for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He's on Facebook doing amazing things, and I'm so proud of him. He has always been a representation of the divine masculine for me. He quite literally saved my life. It was a great blessing to be his mom. He's the one that made me mom, and I always wanted that. And I'm grateful for him and for his testimony, his goodness. People bullied him as well in school and told lies about him in high school, and he dropped out of high school because of those things. There were lies told about him as well by teachers, and assuming that he was the one breaking the rules, things like that, which I was able to see from that perspective. And then I have my daughter, my second daughter, who was born with so much joy and happy playfulness, and confidence. And she's taught me a lot about what was natural and what was good. I've looked up to her a lot because that, I feel like, is something that was taken from me. And I've really had this constant conversation with my husband about confidence and where it comes from, and if we can ever gain it if we've been through the things that we've been through. And I've come to realize through my daughter Jocelyn that confidence is something that we are born with. It's not something that we either get or we don't. It's something we're born with and that is taken from us little by little, step by step sometimes, or maybe even all at once. And my daughter has taught me that I was able to, despite my own lack of confidence, pass that on to my children, or at least culture that, what they had. And my second daughter, she has the same personality type as I do. And if you know the Myers and Briggs, then that's INFJ. And she is very, very, very intuitive, very, very empathetic. She such a sweet and good girl, such a sweetheart. And I can see myself in her a lot, and how I was as a child, the decisions that I made, how I handled my siblings and my narcissistic mom. And it was actually very nice to have the blessing of raising someone with the same personality type as me, so that I could see that. And then I have my daughter first my daughter that we adopted and lost. I'll talk about that, I guess. I had her for 7 years in my home. She taught me how bad the abuse was in a way, and she also taught me how bad the narcissism, what it looks like, even developing in a child, what it looks like from a different perspective, and how I could make different decisions as an adult. So I'm grateful for her for that. And my son that I still have, that we adopted, he, coming from the background that he has come from foster care and from the abuse and neglect that he received as well. He's the half sibling of this other narcissistic daughter. He tries so hard to find his place in this family, and it kind of breaks my heart to watch him struggle, even though we all have love for him, and he knows that. Sometimes he has this confusion in his head if he is like his sister, who caused so much abuse and trauma and pain for our family and for many people, or if he is like this family who has adopted him. And when he's upset, like a while ago, he was triggered by his birth mom wanting to talk to him, and that sister that was in my home is now in their home, and he was upset that he might have to have a relationship with her again, and so he broke into some houses and he caused some damage, kicked holes in the walls, broke the thermostat into some new houses that were being built and not yet sold. And so I see this battle, this tug of war between the two families and the two beliefs about who he is and what he is. But I see this really good heart and this desire to choose the light over and over and over and over again. And I could see myself in that as well, having the background that I had and trying so hard to fit into the light, fit into the people who were confident and loving members of my family, especially on my dad's side, and friends that could have been like that for me. And I guess I just wanted to say, first of all, it's not fair that these labels are put on us so quickly, so easily, so with so little thought about how it affects us. But I hope that you can do what I have done, at least at some point in your life. Be able to look at the signs that God gives you around you, through children or people who might mirror to you. Maybe the people who see you with open hearts. Another thing that was really helpful for me was to go back through my journals. I kept a journal from the time that I was 7, wrote in it about once a month, which was enough for me to go back and see the truth about who I am. And as we went through all those CPS cases, that was it's tried again, really, really hard. People easily believed that it was because of my relationship with my mom that I couldn't parent this child who was narcissistic. And I think I've said before about how we shouldn't be taking the advice of people who don't have the experience that we do. When you're a humble person and you know the truth that you can learn from every single person that you meet, then often we take in these labels or these judgments that come in about us, and we absorb them and mull over them and chew on them and digest them a bit. And I think the difference between us and these monsters, the sociopaths and the narcissists, they have kind of a resilience to that. And I think that they kind of know how to search out the people that will internalize. So one of the ways that we can become a little bit more whole, a little bit more healed, is to recognize what pride actually is. Because of my mom and also a combination of the rest of my family and what I was taught at church, I was always afraid of pride. And I have learned since then that pride is a lie. The bad pride, bad kind of pride. You can have joy in something that you've accomplished and joy in your children, that kind of pride. But the kind of pride that tells you that you're better than somebody else, or even less than to some extent, is a lie. It's a lie. And the more that I've realized that over the years, the more I've been able to accept the truth about myself, that I am good and that I am wise, that I've had many experiences, that I can trust myself, that I'm kind, that I love, maybe even more than anybody I know. And that's a good thing. I hope you can do the same. Find some sort of healing in that. And I'll talk to you later.